Somebody say yeah. Say it again, say yeah. Somebody say yeah for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You look good out there, baby. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look here. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die. Look here. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long, I wish I could come out there where you are, baby. A long time coming, but I know, look at here, a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look at here. Let me say one more thing. I go to the movie and I go downtown. But all I can hear is somebody keep telling me, oh boy, don't hang around. It's been a long. If anybody know what I'm talking about, let me see you wave your hand. I know a change gonna come. And oh, yes it will. But I've got to take my time and say this, look. Then I go to my brother. Yes, sir. And I tell him, I said, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me. He knocks me back down on my somebody say yeah. I can last long, long. I know I'm able. I'm able to carry on. It's been a long, good God Almighty, a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look at here. One more time, look. Then I go to my brother. Somebody take your hand back and forth like this. Everybody. You sitting in the first balcony too. Help me, please. All over the auditorium tonight. All over the hallelujah. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. That's the times what I thought I couldn't last for long. No, I know, baby.
Racism, the belief that all members of each race possess characteristics or abilities specific to that race, especially so as to distinguish it as inferior or superior to another race or races. Baron Glass, host of the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass, each and every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the number one global 24-hour radio station, WMAD. Join my co-host April Ayala and I as we make an attempt to bring this evil system and a way of life for some to the forefront and have an open discussion with civility and honesty with hopes of minimizing this problem that has affected so many lives. We ask that you join us. We all can make a change, and we surely can make a difference.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass. We are honored to have you as a guest tonight and want to thank each of you for your faithful support. Without further delay, allow me to introduce to you Mr. Baron Glass. Mr. Glass, take it away.
Good afternoon. Welcome to
Hello.
the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. Tonight, we're going to talk about a topic that is very, very important to a lot of people. And we are joined by one of our guests from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Miss Lauren Chico. Lauren, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, If you can, Lauren, I want to make sure that everybody that's out there, all of your supporters or whatever the case may be, that they can hear you loud and clear, because we're going to make sure that this topic is discussed. Now, tell us just a little bit about yourself, Lauren, before we go directly into it.
I'm from South Philadelphia. I am 30 years old. I work for a law firm. I've been there for 7 years, and I'm just trying to get our word spread.
Okay, and tell us what that word is, Lauren.
To stop racism, to try to be the change, to make the change.
Okay, I know that you shared a story with me about people asking your mother why Lauren has these black people upstairs or whatever the case may be. And your mom's comment was that until you start paying my bills, it does not matter who's at my house. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
My mom always allowed us to welcome whoever we wanted into our home, and she accepted anybody that we brought home. They were great with everybody, with all my friends, and they never judged anybody.
Okay.
And that's where I got that from, my parents.
And that's good. Now, Lauren, we know, and for those of who are out there that don't know, that you guys have a group called Stop Racism, Be That Change. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we know that racism is the belief that all members of each race possess characteristics or abilities specific to that race, especially so as to distinguish it as inferior or inferior to another race or races. Now, we also know that there is an effect, which is an impact on those who are involved, which we're talking tonight about how racism affects a younger generation. Now, the question tonight is this: what is racism? Racism is an ideology that supports racial oppression and exploitation based on beliefs of a particular race's culture or natural inferiority. Such beliefs justify and sustain the unequal or inferior treatment of a particular group. There are three forms of racism: individual, institutional, and culture. Lauren, do you believe that most people they fail to understand what racism is and what it's about?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, in your line of work, based on what you do, tell us why tackling racism is so important to you and your group.
Because, well, we want everybody to know that it doesn't matter what color skin you have, or what religion you choose to follow. We're all there for one another, and that's what we want to spread.
Okay. Now, we know that some people, they just do not understand what racism is. And I'm talking about all races, all nationalities. We're not excluding anybody out tonight. Do you feel, Lauren, that this conversation is too uncomfortable for most people that you deal with on a daily basis?
It might be for some.
Okay, and why do you feel that it's kind of complicated for some?
Maybe it unfairly gives somebody the disadvantage of the basis of knowing their racial background.
Mm-hmm. Now, when we talk about the younger generation, we know that the younger generation is always impacted by the older generation. And what is it that you feel the older generation can do to make it better for the future generation, which is the millennials? What is it that the older generation can do, in your opinion?
To set a better example, to try to show these kids today that there is a different way to treat people and a different way to show respect. I just don't think there's enough of that out there. There's not enough adults and teenagers showing the younger generation that we are all one. You know, we all stand together.
Okay. Now, we know that a lot of adults are pretty much afraid. And when we talk about them being afraid, I think sometimes it's because they themselves didn't really understand it back when they were growing up, or they feel like everything has changed. Now, when we look and fast forward to the generation now, it appears that that generation can actually tolerate each other more. But when you get off into the roots of racism, the older generation, regardless as to what nationality it is, they are the ones who are basically responsible for teaching the younger generation. Having said that, what would you like to tell those who are out there listening now who are older? And when I say older, I'm talking 50, 60, 70, born in the, let's say, 50s and moving on forward. What would you like to tell them specifically representing your group, Stop Racism, Be That Change?
Sometimes it's hard to teach older people. What's the saying? You can't teach old dogs new tricks. If they're not going to change for themselves, to at least try to change for the younger generation. You know, children have brains like sponges. They pick everything up that they hear, and a lot of times the older generation, they don't hold back what they want to say, and I think that's another main problem.
Okay, and we also know, Lauren, that we have politicians who are out there who do not do what they're supposed to do. We have individual so-called leaders out there who don't do what they're supposed to do. As far as those who are elected, what is it that we need to do to make sure that they get involved and they do the things that they are elected to do, rather than get in office and get paid and don't really do the job that they are supposed to do? What would you like to say to Mr. Politician right now?
That we need to be heard, that we need our group to be shared so people can all hear what we have to say.
Okay, now, when we look at those who are elected from the local level, the state level, on into the national level, do you feel that they are doing enough, or they're just sitting idle and waiting for everybody else to do it, such as you and I, your group, Stop Racism, Be That Change? Do you feel that they are just sitting there waiting?
Yeah, I don't think they're doing the things that they should be doing, or at least trying to do to make a change.
Okay. Now,
and that's why we're here doing it now.
Right. When we look at what is racism, or what is wrong with racism and prejudice, Lauren, your parents out there says, tell him what we see first is the color of their heart, not the color of their skin, and all hearts are the same. Thanks, Lauren. That's your family. That's your. I'm assuming mom and dad and or both. Now, when we look at what is wrong with racism and prejudice, we know that racism and prejudice, it impedes human potential. Young victims of racism and prejudice are more likely to have low self-esteem, poor self-concept, and limited aspirations accordingly, and they are less likely to be successful in school, work, or play. Conversely, in our increasingly racially and ethnic diverse society, children with racist attitudes may find themselves at a social, educational, or political disadvantage. In essence, racism and prejudice threaten the development of both the victim and the perpetrator. Do you agree or disagree with that?
No, I agree that it makes it harder for the children. They're not going to want to go to school if they're being teased about the color of their skin or the religion that they follow.
Mm-hmm.
that's just going to automatically make them fail academically and behavior.
Okay, when we look at this right here, based on what you just said, do you feel that racism and prejudice could be looked upon as some type or another form of bullying to a child?
Yes.
Okay, and if that be the case, what would you advise? Because I myself am a policymaker from the legal side and the educational side. What would you like to tell local school board members? Because people can go back out right now, tomorrow, later on, or whatever, immediately after the show. They can actually listen to the archive. You can actually share this archive with any other group that you like. You can download it and keep it for your own reference. My question is this: for those who may be running for office, those who are already in office on the local level, what is it that you specifically want to tell them that you see they may not be doing or they are afraid to do it? We know that we want to tell them to get up and do their job. What else would you like to tell them?
Stop having so many sports meetings and sports rallies, and talk more about bullying, and talk more about how people shouldn't be ashamed of what color they are.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Now, when we look at inside the classroom, do you feel, in your honest opinion, and you can, this may be a little forward or not, but I'll ask you, do you feel that a lot of teachers inside certain classrooms in certain areas, maybe those privileged areas, those gated areas, do you feel that they tolerate this stuff?
Tolerate what?
Racism.
Some of them may do, yeah. Some of them may not know how to handle it.
Okay.
What actions to take on it.
Okay, if they don't know how to handle it, do you feel that school systems, universities, and colleges, that they should actually have more diversity training, more racial sensitivity training, and things of that nature?
Yes, I definitely do.
Okay, when we look at police officers throughout the country, and we know that there's a lot of, I'm going to say, evidence and or a lot of chatter out there with regards to treatment of individuals of color. Do you feel that racism exists in certain areas, or it exists in all areas? And if so, we have a job to do that is more complicated than what most people think. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I think I think racism exists in all areas.
Okay. Now, when you have kids that are in school, and those kids come home and tell their mother or their father that such and such called me the N-word today, how would you address that question right now regarding specifics to somebody that's out there who may be listening, who may have dealt with this but don't really know how to deal with it themselves? What would you advise?
I would tell them to not to listen to it. You know, that their opinion doesn't matter, that they're nothing but hateful words.
Mm-hmm. So
that's what I would.
So we do understand that words do hurt, and if those words do hurt, you take a young innocent child who goes to school, been taught everything that's right. And Michael, by the way, says that we all bleed the same color blood, and that's true. So when we look at inside the classroom, and we're dealing with young innocent students, do you feel that more parent-teacher conferences, should be accessible for parents to talk about? Do you feel that school systems should have diversity type of classes, or some type of objectives for these kids to actually learn? Because you gotta realize that some parents in some households do not teach diversity. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Now we know that parents promote racism and prejudice. Children, they tend to follow their parents' instruction. You'd agree with that, correct?
Definitely.
Okay. When we look at certain areas of life, we know that studies have shown that in some cases, parents directly instruct their children concerning racist and prejudiced attitudes. For example, one study showed that almost 50% of white families in the sample told their children not to play with African American youngsters. How do you feel about that?
That's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, it's horrible, especially for the children.
Mm-hmm.
and they're growing up with that, and they're hearing that, and that's what they think is right.
Mm-hmm.
They're growing up with that mentality to only play with your own skin color. Children should be allowed to play with whoever they want to.
Now, I'm going to use the word ignorant to a certain degree. And ignorant in this case is unaware. So for that family who may be telling their child to not mix and mingle with another child, what would you want to say directly from your group or yourself to this particular parent who may be doing this? What would you like to tell them?
Teaching your child ignorance is just going to ruin that child. Ignorance has no color.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know both ends, both races are probably saying the same thing to their children, and it's not right. It's only affecting the kid in the long run.
Okay, Lauren, furthermore, we know that racial prejudice can be communicated indirectly and directly. It can be communicated intentionally or unintentionally by doing such things as associating stuff like this, black with bad or white with good. And now we know that studies, they show that such associations, they strengthen the negative attitude toward African Americans and other people. How do you feel about that?
I just think it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's wrong to discriminate on anybody, regardless of their race or religion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Lauren, your mom says children aren't born racist, and we have done several shows regarding no one is born racist, because our message is clear here at the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass. We will continue to fight these battles. We fight battles every day. Now, when you look at social media, Lauren, and you are out there promoting getting rid of racism, how do people respond to you guys? Is it negatively or positively?
No, positively. They love us.
Okay.
They really do. I guess they're happy to see a group that's finally out there. If you come to our group, there's no fighting, there's no negativity, there's no putting people down or judging anybody.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's an individual out there by the name of Michael who says that here's his equation: hatred plus ignorance equals racism. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. That's my husband.
Okay. So when we look at all of this, social media on down. Now, when I'm looking at social media, there is a lot of hate that's out there from all different angles. I believe there's a lack of understanding. There's a lack of communication. There's a great deal of fear because take, for instance, somebody who weighs 15 pounds over. A change for them to try to lose 1 pound is almost like impossible. So when we look at individuals, and because I want to make sure that our message is clear, that whatever it is that they are doing is not working. If you look at the country as a whole, it is 100% racially divided. Now, do you feel that the president has done enough? Do you feel that he has done not enough? Do you feel that previous presidents have done enough, not enough? How do we talk to these politicians about this?
I feel like the president is doing everything he can do. I feel like a lot of this was placed, it all fell onto him. And I feel like he's cleaning up a lot of the mess that happened prior years.
Now, in the sound because the internet is still not working the way it is. But the interview is steady going now. There's a comment that has come in from Jennifer. She says that we have open discussions, that we don't judge each other about things. We support one another, and we are able to give different views respectfully. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel that that makes things better for those who are around us in our circle, so we can actually do better than what we're doing?
Yes, of course. Everybody wants to be treated respectfully.
Mm-hmm. So if a person is in the direct vicinity of someone who is being racist or who is treating their child or another child with disrespect, what do you advise them to get involved in it? Do you advise them to kind of sit back and kind of monitor it? What would you tell them? Because see, what I do is I'm the type, I believe that if you see a problem and you do nothing to address it, then you send a message to the person that you're with that you agree with whatever it is that they may be doing. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, and the reason why I'm asking is because I want other people to understand that you look totally different than the way I do. But when we look at the similarities and the beliefs that we have, which is racism is not good for anybody. It divides this country, it divides the state, it divides the local municipalities, and it even divides families. So I want people to understand that it's not only me that's saying this, it is you and other people. Your group right now, how long has your group been in existence?
Today has been
prejudice. We know that television plays a major role in forming racial attitudes of children. Okay, programs that uphold stereotypes such as Hispanics portrayed as servants, prostitutes, drug dealers, or gang members promoted prejudiced attitudes and behaviors. When we look at, on the other hand, programs that go against stereotypes such as African American portraying doctors, lawyers, and teachers can help counter them. Do you feel that the media is doing a worse job or a bad job, or they can do a better job? And if so, what would you like to advise them?
I think the media makes it worse sometimes. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just think they send the wrong message out most of the time, the majority of the time.
Mm-hmm. So when we look at Fox News, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, and all of those other affiliates, if you had to grade them A, B, C, or D, what grade would you give them with regards to actually uniting the country rather than dividing the country on race?
I would give them a D. Mm-hmm. They only show what they want you to see.
Right.
I mean, half the time we don't know what's really going on.
Do you feel that it is intentional based on what they're doing to continue to divide and conquer?
Sometimes I do. I hope it's not intentional, but sometimes I do feel that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now because we know that when you look at Fox News, they are geared toward one Democratic political realm. When you look at MSNBC, they are going in another different direction. Now, we also know that people are not doing everything they can do, because I have people every day that are afraid, Lauren, to talk about racism, and they always ask me why. And my thing is, if you don't talk about it, the only thing you're doing is allowing it to go on. Because if you look back in the 60s, when they started integration, I feel that they allowed this to go on without having a conversation, and at that time they should have been having a conversation. As a result, they became complacent, too reluctant to change, and it has now equal destruction. Do you agree or disagree with that assessment?
I agree.
Okay, now we know that children can be free, or they cannot be free of race and prejudice. We know that. Okay, unfortunately, nearly all African American children are at least a little prejudiced. This is true because most children are exposed to prejudiced thinking and behaviors from parents, their peers, the media, and other sources. Until the individuals and the institutions responsible for educating our children, provide the public with correct information and positive images regarding racial and ethnic groups. Children will continue to be exposed to and suspected. I'm getting it all wrong. Subject to racism and prejudice. Now, if that be the case, Lauren, how can this particular station, the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD, how can we do things different than what MSNBC, ABC, and all those other affiliates do? What is that you would like to tell me?
We can reach out to the parents and the children and tell them that this isn't the way it has to be. Mm-hmm. We don't have to be like the rest of society. Mm-hmm. We don't have to judge people. We could teach love, not hate.
Okay, now, when we look at this station in specific, okay, and I want you to be as honest as possible. Based on the 2 or 3 days that you've been in contact with us and the things that you've seen us actually tackle and take down, give us the same grade, A, B, C, or D, and you won't hurt the feeling, because we are out there trying to get public perception of what we're doing. Because one thing about it, Lauren, our message needs to be clear, that we are trying to make a difference in the communities, not just locally, not just statewide, but abroad. Give us a grade.
I would give you an A+, Mr. Glass.
Okay, now, that right there would not go to our head. It'll go to our heart. Because, see, what we're trying to do, Lauren, is reach out and tell a neighbor, tell a friend. We are trying to bring other people in to let them know that we have a voice. We are allowing you guys to give a voice. We want you guys to be heard. Because here's the deal. If you was on Fox News tonight, if you was on MSNBC, you would be scripted. And you would not be given the opportunity that you have now to talk full, unedited version. How does that make you feel tonight?
Makes me feel good.
Okay, now, if it makes you feel good, what would you like to tell all of those who are out there listening right now from your group, Stand Up, Stop Racism, and Be That Change?
To come join our group, come see what we're all about, come help us be the change and spread the word. The more voices, the better. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lauren, Mom, I'm going to tell you. Lauren says Mom is a nutshell. This group is a start, and hopefully it's the beginning to a better future for her children and her grandchildren and all the children of different races and nationalities. Give it to the people. Michael said there needs to be a class on racism and culture, and I agree with that. Now, Lauren, if we take Michael's example, what would you like to see? I guess a large group of policymakers, and I would be more than willing to facilitate behind the scenes, because I really don't want to be out. I've been out for a long time. But when we take Michael's position that there needs to be a class on racism and culture, would you like that to start from the local level in elementary school, junior high, high school, universities, and colleges?
Yes, local level, elementary school, middle school, definitely, from when the children are young.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's look at another concept, and the question is, how can children combat racism and prejudice? Whether or not a child develops racist and prejudicial attitudes greatly depends on how he or she is socialized. Children who interact with other children belonging to different racial and ethnic groups and who are involved in activities that give them accurate information about cultural diversity tend to develop sensitivity to ethnicity. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. In turn, now we know that these children are able to form their own opinions directly from their personal experience rather than have their opinions molded by myths and stereotype. If you had to give a myth, and this may be kind of complex, but if you had to give a myth that's out there right now about racism from any group, could you name one right now?
A myth?
Mm-hmm. Something that's totally untrue. Something like if Lauren touches Baron's hand, she's going to automatically turn black.
Oh man.
Well, and that's fine. You may be able to come back, because it's not because what I want people to understand is that Lauren is from another background. I am from another background, but at the same time, we all have this thing that's in common. One is that we want to dismantle as much as possible racism. Number two is that we all bleed red. So if there's anybody that's out there who wants to make a difference, they can join the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD. We have something going on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They can also join Stop Racism and Be That Change. Lauren, I know that you said that you were nervous, and I want to let you know that you did a wonderful job. You did a fabulous job. Now, we're not finished. We're not finished yet, because what I want to do, I want all of those that are out there on the chat line, I want you to blow this lineup. And I'm looking at all of these chats that's coming through, Lauren. You do have some support out there. We have people from all over listening in, because here's the deal. We are going to make sure that we are on the move in 2015. We talk about racism. We talk about sexism. We talk about law and order. We talk about liberty and justice for all. We talk about injustice for some and justice for others. We talk about everything that's out there, Lauren, that other people are afraid. So we want to tell you guys this, is that we want to make sure, and Mom says that she's Italian American, or Lauren says Mom is Italian American. So Lauren, let me ask you this. Based on your mom being Italian American, what experiences regarding racism have you guys have to deal with personally, other than the example that you gave us?
Well, we grew up in an Irish neighborhood, so a lot of the Irish people didn't like us because we were Italian. Mm-hmm. So I got called a lot of names on a daily basis when I was a kid, but my mom always told me to ignore it. You know, she taught me that I was better than that, and it worked.
Now, you have the opportunity right now to tell all of those elders who, or those kids who called you all of those names. What did that do for you back then? Did it make you stronger? Are you glad that you were able to experience that, so now, as a result, that you refuse not to dismantle other people by calling them names?
Yeah, it definitely made me stronger, and it helps me be a better mother for my son.
Okay, do you believe that there's a such thing as white privilege?
White privilege?
As in what? For example, a white person, particular middle class or middle age or so forth, that they are not likely to be followed around in a store by a security guard.
No, because, for instance, there's times I get followed around in stores from security guards, and it makes me mad.
Okay, now, do you feel that we can cultivate this conversation, with other people? And if so, because, again, we know that race is one of the things that most people do not want to touch. They just don't want to touch it. So what I'm going to do right now, Lauren, I'm going to give you an opportunity, because I know I've been throwing hard balls at you, hard balls. I'm going to give you time to take a breather. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask that everybody that's out there, please take a moment. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back.
If you are looking for some good music to listen to while on the job, while driving, or simply want to relax, move on over to thesmokingglasshour.com and scroll to the bottom of the page. Press play, or you can download the TuneIn app on your smartphone and search for WMAD 24-Hour Global Radio. Give us a chance to massage those ears with some good sultry sounds, with music for adults and lovers. You are now listening to WMAD 24-Hour Global Radio.
Hello. This is Baron Glass, host of the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on the all-new #1 global radio station, WMAD. Before I do my live broadcasting, I always dine in at the all-new Main Street Seafood Restaurant located in downtown Columbia, Louisiana, owned and operated by Miss Brett. Check them out. I did.
We are back broadcasting live with the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-Hour Global Radio. Now, we're talking tonight about how racism affects a younger generation. Now, Lauren, in your opinion, how do you feel that this, let's get to the context, how do you feel that this is affecting the younger generation?
Racism?
Yes.
I feel like children are growing up, by the time they're 10 years old, and they already hate one another.
And we know that hate is a spirit and or an attribute of the devil. So for those who are out there, your group in specific, what would you like to say to those who are out there listening now as to how racism affects a younger generation. For instance, if there is a parent that's out there right now, and we know that they are, and they will at some point listen to this broadcast in their own way. When we look at that particular parent, and I want you to speak directly to this parent, Lauren, what would you like to tell them?
Stop teaching hate. Kids, these children have brains that are like sponges. Everything you say or anything you do in front of them, they pick it right up. It absorbs right in, and they're just showing that child that it's okay to be ignorant and it's okay to hate, and that's not the way it should be. They need to show their kids love.
Right. Lauren.
That love has no color.
Right, exactly. Perfect way to state it. Mom says that when my parents were children, their schools were segregated. Italian children were not allowed in Irish schools. Let me ask you this. Is your mom anywhere around you, or she's in another different area?
She lives across the street from me.
Okay, because I was going to tell you, if you wanted to have your mom on the line, because I would like to talk with her. It's not a problem. I would, because she can come from that era in which we're talking about in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. Because, see, back then, they didn't have the choices that we had. And those who did try to have those choices, they were vilified and sometimes maligned, and they was ultimately hated. Because we know that Martin Luther King and all those other ones, they had to go through all of these toils and turns. Now, Jennifer says that it teaches hate. It hurts their future because they are going to come in contact with all races, and that's true. So when we look at last night's topics, we looked at those communities that had gated walls. When we look at putting kids, and I'm not saying that kids shouldn't be put in private schools. I think that's a personal choice. But when we desocialize kids and put them in a surrounding that they come in contact with nobody other than someone that looks like them, do you feel that that is a mistake to a certain degree?
Yeah.
Okay, and if so, if you can, just elaborate on it just a little bit more, because what I'm trying to do again, Lauren, I'm trying to make sure that people understand that this message that we're trying to put out is loud and clear. It's not some type of hoopla. It's not some type of images that are being created in people's head and mind and images or whatever. These are actual hardcore facts. These are the realities of life. So when we look at certain things, Lauren, I've talked to people who feels like racism does no longer exist because we have an African American or whatever you want to call him president. Do you agree with that?
No, not at all. I think racism still does exist.
Now, if we take that same question, that racism does exist, and Mom, if she's out there, she can answer this as well. Do you feel that racism has gotten worse, it has gotten better, or it's about the same?
I think it's gotten worse. I think it's gotten worse due to all the things that are happening with the police. Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you feel that politicians in some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion, that they entice all of this stuff by creating different economical statuses, creating the 1% versus the 99%, creating the larger areas, populated area, the gated areas versus the ghetto or the poor area? Do you feel that this is intentional by some and some others it's just based on ignorance?
No, I think, of course, I think it's based on ignorance.
Mm-hmm. So when you are in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and you come in direct contact with racism, what does Lauren do? And rather than Lauren talking the talk, let me hear and let the audience hear, what does Lauren do to signify that she's walking the walk?
If I deal with racism, if I come into contact with it, I walk away.
You walk away. Mm-hmm.
There's no sense in arguing with somebody who's not going to try to change or want to change. Mm-hmm. You can't force somebody to be respectful. So sometimes the best thing to do is walk away. Okay,
Lauren, I know that you are early 30s, and you appear to be very eloquent in the things that you do. You're not afraid. Can we see somewhere down the line, because if not, I'm advising, and at least to consider, can we see Lauren possibly running for local office at some point in time?
Maybe someday, yes.
Okay, and if so, what would be your platform? And just from a generic standpoint, again, if somebody was asking me that question, I could answer. But I know it may be a little hard. But before you answer, I'm gonna give you time. Michael says this. He says that I think racism. I think racism works. I think it will. I don't think, because I'm trying to get these words right. I don't think it will ever go away. But if we all work together, we can control it drastically. Now, I agree with that assessment 100%. What about you, Lauren?
Do I think what Michael said is correct?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I wish it would go away, but I just think it's always going to be something that we're going to have to deal with, but we can control it, definitely.
Right. Well, and what can happen is that we can address it. Racism, to me, Lauren, is like evil that is spoken of in the Bible. We're born into a sinful world. Evil, sin, racism. I put all of them in the same category. So when we look at those three, we know that evil is going to always exist. So having said that, I believe that racism is going to always exist. But we know that prayer can deal with racism, evil. We know that tackling racism can at least dismantle it to a certain degree. So what I want to know is if we are going to continue to move forward, what area would you like to tackle with first? And because now here's the deal. I'm not one of those, Lauren, who like to talk the talk. I don't like to talk and not have actions. And I'm one of those action type guys. My question is this. What is it that stop racism, be the change? What is it that they would like to work on? Would they like to work on maybe lobbying lawmakers from from a state and national level? Would they like to write letters to congressmen and United States senators to try to get, what is it that you guys are specifically trying to target? And what is it that the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD can do to help you guys facilitate that?
We want to work with the children. Hopefully one day, myself and the other 4 administrators who do an awesome job, hopefully one day we could go out there and be guest speakers at schools, middle schools, and teach children that there are good people out there in the world and you can be good to one another.
Right. Now, I know Jennifer says that racism is poison. And what I'm going to do right now, Lauren, because this song should resonate with your mom. This song should resonate with all of those who grew up in the 50s, the 60s, and even the late 60s. This song is by Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. I'm going to play this song for about 3 minutes and 32 seconds, and I'll be right back and we'll conclude the interview. So just hold on one second.
Thank you.
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah. Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh, picket lines, picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Right now. Right on. Right on. some understanding here today. Oh, oh, oh. Pick it loud and pick it sound. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me. You can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Ooh. Right on. Right on. Right on. Right on.
Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. We're joined tonight by our guest from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Miss Lauren Chico. We're talking tonight about how racism affects a younger generation. And Mom says out there that she has played Marvin Gaye. She played that album. And I want to make sure that everybody understands that we are out here trying to make a difference. Now, we know that everything is going, around. We also know that there are some things that's going on with the internet service tonight, and we apologize for that. Charge it to our heads and not our hearts. So we want to make sure that everybody has an understanding that we are trying to make a difference. We are letting you guys know that if you are out there, we are trying to make sure that you can see that other people have the courage, and with their courage, we can cheerlead you on so you can get up and get out and make a difference. Michael says that we are all brothers and sisters of this world. Let's enjoy this together. Michael, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now, let's get back to Lauren on how racism affects a younger generation. And Lauren, we're looking at about 8:51 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:51 Eastern Standard Time. And I know that it's getting late on you guys' end of the spectrum. But I want to make sure that we have touched everything that you wanted to touch tonight. And I want to thank you for accepting the invite for the interview. Is there anything else that you'd like to cover that we have not already covered? And you can be as open. You got as much time as you like.
Well, I want to thank you for having me on the show. I'm so happy that I found you guys. A friend of mine, Debbie, told me to come to you, and I'm so happy that I messaged you. I want to just mention the other administrators who do work hard for this page, for Stop Racism, Be the Change, and that's Jennifer Parker, who's from Pueblo, Colorado, Trishana DaCosta, who's all the way in Spanish Town, Jamaica, and Tylen Welch, she's in West Monroe, Louisiana, and also Monique Buis, and she's in Brazil, Indiana.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, Jennifer has been listening every night since we have met. I want to say that you have some foot soldiers that are out there, Lauren, and those individuals are working hard. But I can tell you this, we have a long way to go. It's not impossible, but we have a long way to go. And we must be able to get up and get out from our comfort zones. We must be able to go out there and do the things that are necessary. And some of the things that are necessary is this, is when you see this stuff happening, try to make a difference. If you are afraid, surround yourself around people who have the courage to do things better. I know that your mother's out there listening. I'm assuming that your dad and your husband, everybody else is out there. I want them to know that whatever it is that they are doing to try to encourage you, continue to do that, because guess what? There's going to be a lot of friends that you lose, Lauren. There may even be family members that you lose. But you know, as long as you don't lose the Almighty God, that's what you're basically looking for. Because, see, we don't need to work for humans anymore. When we work for humans, we end up getting disappointed. when we work for God, we always achieve that success. Jennifer says we are together. Always we can do this. And I believe that. I believe that we have enough people that are out there. We just have to go. It's like gold, Lauren. We have to dig for it. We have to dig for it. We have to dig for it. And I'm asking you to continue to dig, continue to toil and do what you're doing. I'm also asking you guys out there, like I said, if you want to make a difference, this radio station can be utilized to get messages out, can do a lot of things, because guess what? We are heard around and abroad. We are heard each and every night. We are heard each and every day. If you check us out at www.thesmokingglasshour.com, you can listen to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also check out Pastor A.F. Riggins, Senior Pastor Founder, Real Life Church out of Houston, Texas. If you need the Word of God, he's on every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. He's on every morning from Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock, 7:30 p.m. We have everything that's going on Sunday. Christian music, live sermons. So whatever it is that's out there, we are trying to make a difference. We are trying to do the things that we can. And Mom says true. And those friends are that easy to lose. They were never worth having to begin with. And we agree with that. But my point is this, is that anytime you are trying to do something right, there's going to be always somebody there at the doorstep who are trying to knock you down. Lauren, I know that you're young. I know that you're going to get tired at some point in time. I know that at some point in time, the husband may say, well, why are you doing this? Why are you doing it? Well, you have to decide, why am I doing this? You have to look deep within your heart and say, you know, that if just one person, if I can just help one person, because our theme here on the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass, if we just have one listener out there, if we can make a difference to that one listener, and guess what? There are many listeners that are out there. So Lauren, again, we're looking at about 5 minutes. I want to make sure, like I said, I'm loving this. I am smiling from Pennsylvania to Louisiana because I'm happy. I'm happy that we were able to touch the lives of some people. We were able to give some people a voice here tonight. So I want you to just take your time and just speak directly into the mic and tell everybody what it is that you would like to see them start doing. Tell them give them some information about your page. Tell them how they can find your page. Tell them how they can find you or some of the other individuals that are out there. I'll give you a moment.
I want everyone to come together. Come to Facebook, search for Stop Racism, Be the Change. Join the group. I want everybody to talk to one another, to get along, to spread the love, share the page, tell everybody. We're trying to do something beautiful for the world, for everybody.
Lauren, give them a little information. Tell them where they can go and find your page at and how they can get in contact with it.
Well, they have to go to, on Facebook and just search Stop Racism, Be the Change. You can also find one of the links shared on Mr. Barron's page.
Okay. Lauren, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask that anybody that's out there listening right now, that if you listen to the player, the little black player that you press play on it, if you don't mind, if you can go there to Spreaker and like the Smoking Glass Hour, because what that's going to do, Lauren, is once we get up to a certain amount of followers, that's going to put us on a whole nother level. And we're almost there now. We've been doing this broadcast for almost 2 years. Now, I just switched over from one system to the other, and I've been on this system that we're on now for about 2 weeks, actually today. And 2 weeks tomorrow. And I'll tell you, Lauren, you would not believe how many people that are out there listening, how many people who are out there sending us messages on every night. Also, tomorrow night, you can check us out. We're talking about local politics. We're talking about local and state politics. Local politics is important. All politics is local. You can reach us at Facebook. You can reach us at Twitter. You can reach us at Instagram. You can reach us at Pinterest. You can reach us at Google+. You can reach us by email at thesmokingglasshour@gmail.com. You can also follow us. And if the more you follow us, the more we'll be able to connect. We'll be able to put your words out, Lauren. We will be able to. Now, we're not doing this to solicit. We're doing this to let people know that we are not selfish. We want to unite people. We don't want to just talk the talk once again. We want to walk the walk. And if we can do that, we can accomplish a lot of goals. And I had some more music that what's out there, Lauren, because it appears that Mom has a little groove out there being Italian American, and I wanted to make sure that she comes back and listen to us in it each and every night, if not each and every night at some point in time, not just Mom, but everybody's out there. So what I'm going to do, Lauren, I'm going to give you a moment to close out with any closing comments. If there's any more messages out there coming through the chat room, which they seem to be lighting up, if there are any more messages that we want to be able to, and also, Lauren, let me tell you this. Tell your mom, dad, and everybody else, if they don't mind going out following the Smoking Glass Hour fan page on Facebook, that's going to enhance our ability to reach other people. So let me just pause right now and give you the opportunity to give a closing statement. If you want to thank anybody that's in your group, thank your mom, thank your husband, thank your kid, anybody. You got it. It's on you.
I want to thank Jennifer Parker, Trishana DaCosta, Tylen Welch, and Monique Buis for helping me. Well, for all of us, for helping with the group. You know, we work hard daily, and we try to make it positive so that we can make people smile. I want to thank my mom, Phyllis Chico, and my father, John Chico, for raising me and teaching me the right morals. Also to my boyfriend, Michael Hagley, for coming to the chat and representing me. And also to my 11-year-old son, Christian Chico, who is the main reason why I strive at this so much, because I want him to grow up in a lifestyle where he doesn't have to worry or always look over his shoulder. I want him to know that the world is full of loving people.
Well, Lauren, I can tell you that, and I'm going to share our secret. Lauren had messaged me earlier and told me that she was as nervous as she could be. And I told her not to worry about it. And I want to let everybody out there who is listening to know and understand that Lauren did a wonderful job. So let me ask this, Lauren. Now, having gone through 1 full hour of an interview, how do you feel?
I feel good. I'm ready to do this every night.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what now. There is an opportunity for us to do some things like what you're stating to make sure that we address those issues that you guys have, address those topics. Because remember, we are on the move in 2015. Okay, Christian Chico says, so proud of him for inspiring his mom, and that's a good thing. Lauren, again, I want everybody out there to listen. I want them to understand that we all can make a difference. We all shall make a difference. We all must join together. And we must do this. We must do it. Lauren, Mom, you don't have to thank me. The only thing that I'm asking you to do is continue to pray for us. Continue to allow the good Lord to see and give us the strength, because what we do on a daily basis is not easy. What we do and what we're doing right now, we lose people from all walks of life. But that's fine, because losing somebody, you gain somebody in return. Lauren, again, you guys group, Stop Racism, Be That Change. I want to let you know this, that there are options that are out there that we can join together. There are options on a weekly basis that you guys can and will have a voice. As your group grow, you will have as long as the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass and WMAD is going on. As a matter of fact, Lauren, I'm going to tell you this. If you, Jennifer, Mom, your group, if you guys want to get out there and make a commercial on racism, on your group or whatever, and put it in an MP3 format and email it to the smokingglasshour@gmail.com, guess what? We're going to run that commercial every day of the week for you.
Okay.
We're gonna
awesome.
Again, well, I'm trying to make sure that you understand. We don't just talk to talk here. Our message is clear that we are trying to make a difference, and we will make a difference. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to close out the segment right now. I'm going to play a little Change the World by Eric Clapton. You have been listening to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio with our guest tonight from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Miss Lauren Chico, talking tonight about how racism affects a younger generation. Lauren, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for calling in to the live talk show, and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Have a great...
And I'm going to spread the Smoking Glass in Pennsylvania and let people know about it.
Please do, please do. We would love it. And this song is dedicated to you guys. Change the World by Mr. Eric Clapton.
reach the stars, pull one down for you, shining on my heart, so you could see the truth. And this love I have inside is everything it seems, but for now I find it's only in my dreams that I can change the world. I'll be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good. Baby, if I could change the world. If I could be king, even for a day, I'd take you as my queen. I'd have no other way, and our love will rule in this kingdom we have made. Till then I'd be a fool, wishing for the day that I can change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good. Baby, if I could change the world. Baby, if I could change the world. I could change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good. Baby, if I could change the world. Baby, if I could change the world. Baby, if I could change the world.
Listening to the sounds of Mr. Eric Clapton change the world. We have been talking to Miss Lauren Chico out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, talking tonight about how racism affects a younger generation. You have been listening to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. Thanks and have a great, great, great night.